Glad to know you're still there with us on KAFTAN television this lovely morning in the Federal Capital Territory. We're reaching you live from our studios here in Abuja. I'm Mikky, Attah, and you're still on to the press this morning. Like you heard it, one of our discussion topics, which was topical in the papers this morning, is all about the EFCC. And we are being joined this morning by no other than the head, media and publicity, and the spokesperson of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. We are talking about Mr. Dele Oyewole. Mr. Dele, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on the program.
It was not easy catching up with you. I'm very pleased you made it this morning.
Thank you so much.
All right, it's a pleasure for you to be here. Right, okay, there's so much to tell you about Mr. Dele, but let me just tell you one of his human qualities here. Well, I mean, he has a master's degree. He's a seasoned journalist, 25 years. He's a well-awarded personality, but he's also a stickler for integrity. He's a believer in the truth and the standards, and he does not look left, right, be you a politician, be you whoever you are. The EFCC will go after you under Dele Oyewole. The number of arrests made, especially under the new chairman, has been, you know, it's like, wow. Almost all the time we're seeing the EFCC in the news, and for good news. We had governors who have spent some time right in, in detention, not only in EFCC detention, but remanded in prison custody under this administration. We've had, okay, let me even talk about some of the major ones that really shook Nigeria. Remember the 700 above in Lagos, all in one fell swoop. That was, like an international signal to the world that, whoa, we are very serious about our corruption, anti-corruption stance, because that is what the EFCC is about: anti-graft, anti-corruption. And we came to discover that hundreds of them were foreign nationals. Now, this has not been the case in Nigeria, because for whatever it's worth, we've been acting like we're still in colonial times, with that colonial mentality, worshipping Bature, worshipping Oyibo. That's what we've been doing all the while. But the EFCC, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, said, no, be you who, we're going to get you. You do the crime, you do the time. So let Mr. Dele tell us all about that. First of all, that big haul. We'll talk about today's zone, but refresh us on all what happened that time, because, I mean, that was like, in this Nigeria?
Well, we want to thank God for what is happening in the Economic and Financial Crime Commission now. Toward the end of last year,
right,
specifically the last quarter, there were so many record-breaking, achievements of the commission.
Right.
One of them, we rightly mentioned, the 792, suspected cyber terrorists and internet fraudsters, that were arrested in one street. Oyewole Street in Lagos.
That's in highbrow Victoria Island.
Yes, in one phase with 792 suspects arrested in just one single operation. Right. And we are making a lot of effort. We are going to court against them. We have charged about 60 of them to court now. Just yesterday, a federal high court, in Lagos, ordered the forfeiture of $222,729.
Right. If you could have the Punch newspaper back up there, you're going to see that digital, on the front cover. Just
digital assets, that were recovered from some of the suspects.
Yes. Okay. There it is, right there. Those are some of those suspects that come stepping out from the courtroom in Lagos, and then you can see that almost $300,000 ordered forfeited, and the case is still ongoing. How many were you able to prosecute yesterday?
42.
42, and you can see most of them are Chinese nationals.
Chinese and Filipinos.
Chinese and Filipinos, right?
We charged them to court yesterday. Okay. And it is instructive that such whooping amount of money, $222,729.
Was it cash?
Digital assets.
Wow.
That were recovered from these suspects. The court has ordered an interim forfeiture.
Right.
and I think it's a significant breakthrough.
Oh my goodness! It's a wonderful breakthrough. But please put us through now. When the court orders an interim forfeiture, do they still get it later?
Now, so after that, there are procedures.
Okay.
We are going to advertise the proceeding of the courts.
Okay.
In some national dailies. You know, within 14 days.
Okay.
If anybody has a cause to say that, oh, I am the rightful owner of this digital asset, then you can come forward.
Okay.
But if after public notice, publication, asking for whoever wants to lay claim to the ownership of such asset, if nobody comes forward and there is no legitimate claim or rightful claim to those assets, then we will approach the court for final forfeiture of those assets. So the moment the court grants such an application, then it will be forfeited to the government.
Okay. So I wanted to ask you, what's the time frame for, like, you will advertise for 14 days? You said some national dailies, so you're going to put some notice here on KAFTAN television, so we can let people know what you want to say.
So some national dailies, and we are going to advertise that, okay, the Economic and Financial Crime Commission is asking whoever, any member of the public that has a legitimate or rightful claim to this asset to come forward within 14 days, you know, of the publication. Okay. So, and we wait. Yes. So, if anybody has a claim to that and he approaches the court and say, yes, I'm the legitimate rightful owner of this, and the court will listen. Right. If there is a legitimate claim, you know, a legal claim to all of such things, then the court will know what to do. But if no such thing comes forward, then the asset will be forfeited to the government. Yeah, because it now becomes obvious that the thief does not want you to use it as a bait to pick them up. Okay, that's very, very interesting. Okay, now we want to know, were you acting on a tip-off, or were they under surveillance? Give us a little hint how that operation, because it was clearly a sting operation. Yeah, I think we should give it to the EFCC. We are. Because it's about intelligence. Right. It's about integrity of operation. It's about focus. Right. You know, it's about very credible surveillance. You know, over time, our intelligence pointed in that direction that some kind of a criminal act was going on, and we monitored them, and when we were sure that truly such a thing was going on, then we move in. Okay. And it was a whole night operation, 792. And to the credit of the commission, there was no single injury, no fatality. Right. They were all arrested and they were taken into custody. Right. And we have started arraigning them. As we can see. Yeah, we have started arresting. We are taking them to court, and already we are getting forfeiture, you know, from that arrest. So I think we should give it to the commission for being able to rise at that time, and for not even missing not one jot of action, you know, that is needed to bring these people to book. So we are there. Our investigators, our operatives were there, and the arrest was carried out. Did anybody escape? No. Wow. No escape. No escape. No fatality. Wow. It was a very successful, 100% successful operation. Oh, that was a big one. Nigerians, it was a talking point right here throughout, and I want to assure you that Nigerians called in throughout and gave EFCC kudos for that activity. It was a complete success. Okay, I also want to ask you, sir, about another big blowout that happened that caught Nigerians' fancy, and that was the forfeiture of 700, an estate of over 753 apartments, including duplexes. Yeah. Where was it? It's at the local government axis of the Federal Capital Territory. All right. Yeah. Okay. We want to know, why didn't you let us know who owns it? Because Nigerians, why did you say you don't know the owner? Yeah, well, you know, it is an ongoing investigation. And you see, when an investigation is ongoing, anything that may jeopardize whatever we are doing, we are not going to say it. Even when we approach the court for the forfeiture, just like the court granted an interim forfeiture like this, we approached the court for an interim forfeiture of those assets at the outset, and the court granted interim forfeiture, and we advertised, in many national dailies, asking whoever has a rightful claim to those properties to come forward. And with a window of 14 days, within a window of 14 days, nobody came forward, and we went back to court and said, well, we are applying for final forfeiture of these properties to the government, and the court granted it.
Okay.
So I think what is important, people always, if at the right time, when we are ready to mention whoever is the owner of the property, we will mention. Okay. But it is not expedient for now. Concerning what we are doing. Okay. If we didn't want, I think Nigerians should appreciate the leadership of the commission, particularly the executive chairman, Mr. Oyewole, for having the courage, the integrity, the transparency to say we have recovered this. It was made public. It was in the full glare of the public. We made this recovery. These are the photographs. We are still going forward with our investigation. I think that deserves some kind of commendation. You understand? And at the right time, we are going to lay bare to the public everything that has to do with that recovery.
Okay, so give me this promise that when you're ready and at the right time to lay it bare, you're going to come over here.
Why not? We'll let Nigerians know.
Okay, so for now, though, all those buildings and all that are in your custody now.
Yeah. The properties, they are forfeited completely to the government.
Okay.
And so we are only holding it in trust.
Okay.
For the government.
Yes. Okay. All right, so that was another great big one. Let me see. I think I'm going to have to start taking calls right now. Okay, good morning. I have you, Mazi Okora, for what?
Good morning, my sister. Good morning, Nigeria.
Good morning. Okay. Right.
What I want to tell you that our Telcom, they installed a EFCC in any part of the state for some local government in Nigeria, and I would have to look at. Now look at what is happening in Canada. President Trump is not of the one with policy. He said Saudi Arabia are not making that. There is no content, and it should reduce what? The price of oil. I don't think there is not to come from what kind of data. That's what the president of the country comes forward. That's funny, but it's very hardcore. But it's not what the whole world is. Now, you see the trouble for the only America, so people in the whole world.
All right. Thank you, Mazi Okora, for calling all the way from Arochukwu, and he's commenting on the suspended labor crisis, and he's talking also about that vis-a-vis the oil situation. That what are they doing with the money from oil assets? So we also want to know what is being done with the money from the forfeitures as well. A lot of Nigerians were, a little bit taken aback when the current chairman of the EFCC announced that if he does not pick up the former governor of Kogi State, then he's going to resign his position. We were like, for real? Many people wondered, was he going to follow through, or is it going to be one of those political talks we hear all the while? But you are only for us to see. The talk and do. Please talk us through that, because that, yes, as you notice, that is a new one. Yeah. Remember the Ibori saga?
Yeah, I think this all, everything boils down to the fact that Nigerians should be sincere. Nigerians should be forthright about the fight against corruption. Now, you have an EFCC chairman who is so passionate, who is so focused, who is so sincere about the job that he's doing. That thing that you said, he was quoted out of context.
Okay.
Yeah, what he was saying is that on no account should anyone allege with any form of a criminal act, on no account should such a person be allowed to go unchallenged.
Okay.
On no account will such a fellow be allowed without being brought to book? And he said that I'm going to bring Yaya Bello to book.
Okay.
You understand? And he did. We all saw it, we did. It doesn't matter how long the processes were.
No, the processes belong to the court. He brought the man to book.
But he brought him to book.
Right.
And we saw what happened. He was arrested when we initially declared him wanted. In law enforcement, you see, you could have different kinds of a suspect. If a suspect chooses to be cooperating with what you are doing,
yes,
you have invited him, he will not come. You have asked him to do this, he will not do that. There are procedures. Our laws set out what is to be done concerning such people, and the commission did it. We declared him wanted.
Right.
You know, and he was at that time he was a fugitive. He could not show up in public. You know, until he turned himself in. We arrested him, charged him to court, and trials, you know, have started concerning the matter.
Yes.
So I think it is to the credit of the commission and its leadership that in those days when people were making a lot of insinuation, when people were doing the way, you know, I wonder why they are not applauding the same man that said I will bring him to book, and he brought him to book. I respect that with the same energy, with the same stringency of their condemnation at that time. I will expect them to also applaud him and commend him and say, yes, you have said it and you have done it.
Right. So I think on that note, we ought to give kudos indeed.
Yes, because you see what goes into the prosecution of any high-profile matter.
Yes.
It takes a lot of commitment.
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of commitment, a lot of courage.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so kudos to the current chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. Remember, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission was set up, I think, in 2002, 2003 by the then Nigerian President, Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, to tackle economic crimes, financial crimes, anti-graft, anti-corruption, and such like. Okay, well, remember that the the premier chairman was today's Nigeria's national security advisor in the person of Nuhu Ribadu. Okay, we have a caller on the line. Let me quickly take that call. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Please do want to turn down the volume on your television set. That way we hear you clearly. Morning. You want to turn it down because there's a holdback. We can hear ourselves. Okay, good morning. Okay. Your name, please.
My name is IK, calling from Enugu State.
Okay, hi IK.
I'm fine.
Good.
My question is, what is the difference in the case of Yaya Bello and the case of the former Central Bank governor? Yaya Bello has been maybe taken for bail, coming to the court from his house, but the Godwin Everett coming to court from Green. What is the difference between that two matters? Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Maybe we'll have to ask legal experts some of these legal technicalities, but I think if you could react to that.
No, their charges are different. They have both been admitted to bail. And their trials continue. It's like it will be a bit of a hair splitting to say that what is the difference between Emefiele is Emefiele, Yaya Bello is Yaya Bello. They have different charges before the court. So I don't think there is any semantics involved in this.
Okay, I think that should answer that question. Both of them have been admitted to bail. All right, good morning.
Okay. Good morning.
Right.
Good morning,
yes, sir.
My name is John. I'm calling from Abuja.
John from Abuja, you're welcome.
Yes. preventive measures EFCC is to see that corruption is not just about prosecution but preventive aspect of it? Can you please throw more light on that? Because the chairman has talking about prevention. So what are the preventive measures the commission is taking to block all these corrupt practices and other financial crimes?
Right. Thank you very much. Really great question.
Very, very great question.
Right.
And I want to thank you, Mr. John, for admitting the fact that the executive chairman of the EFCC, Mr. Oyewole, has been talking about preventive framework, in fighting economic and financial crimes and other acts of corruption. Yes, he's not just talking about it. He has taken very practical, very, very proactive steps. The first thing he did was to establish a department called Fraud Risk Assessment and Control Department, a full-fledged department in the EFCC that focuses on preventive modality framework of tackling corruption. And what is the department doing? All the ministry, department, and agencies of government, whatever thing that has to do with their finances, contract, procurement, and everything that has to do with the issue of money, that department is already tracking whatever they are doing. Because the executive chairman believes that it is more cost effective to prevent corrupt practices than to go out after everything that has been done.
Yes.
So it's a practical way of working with MDAs to know how funds are allocated, where they are allocated, how they are allocated, and how they are expended. There is a tracking device, there's a tracking mechanism. It's recently, even the EFCC chairman said that the commissioner have access even to the payment platform of the government, so that every payment that is made is tracked, so that money will not just go down the drain and people will just do whatever they like with public funds. No. So procurement issues, contract issues, everything that has to do with finance, they are being tracked. So that if there's any compromise along the way, that entity or that individual will definitely be approached. Because it's like a radar. Right. Yeah, it's like a radar. Right. You already know how funds are moving, how they are being deployed, what they are being deployed for, and all of that. And it's already hidden dividends, because funds, people now know that you cannot do whatever you like with government money. Right. Now, if you are giving money to do certain things, there is an accountability to do. You know that you are being traced. You know that you are being tracked. You know that if there is any compromise along the way, you are going to be queried, and you are going to be cautioned, and if possible, you are going to be arrested. Right. So it is taking form now, and it is taking rightful form. Aside from that, we have a lot of enlightenment campaigns. That we are doing. That there is need for public ownership of the fight against corruption. That all of us, including Mr. John, including Mikky, including myself, and all of us, we are all Nigerians, we are all suffering the effect of corruption. Therefore, we must also come together in one voice, shoulder to shoulder, and say, no, we are not going to allow corruption to continue. So that engagement itself is a preventive modality. And besides that, there are a lot of things that have been done in the area of intelligence gathering, which I may not be able to say, at this forum. But all of them are targeted towards the preventive framework of tackling corruption, so that we have a country that is strong enough, that is liquid enough, that is credible enough for all of our developmental aspirations. When people and entities and organizations are not allowed to do whatever they like with public funds. So that framework is gaining momentum, is gaining traction in the EFCC, and we are beginning to see some bright light, both for the country, because it's not free for all again. So everybody,
not business as usual.
Not business as usual. Not business as usual.
Well, I have some figures before me that will even buttress what you said. Let me read it out here. EFCC secures 3,455 convictions, recovers 248 billion naira. $105 million, others in 1 year. Okay, let's take another call. I'll tell you much more that's going on. Good morning, caller.
Hello, good morning.
Morning.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mahmuda Hassan.
Mahmuda Hassan, where are you calling from?
I'm from Yobe State.
Yobe State, fantastic. All right, let's have your contribution.
My contribution today is the issue of corruption in Nigeria. If you look at the education sector, there is a lot of corruption there. So I need the Nigerian government to put more emphasis on education.
Okay, the Nigerian government needs to put more emphasis on education, especially like enlightenment campaigns. That way corruption, is nipped in the bud even from schools. Is that what you're trying to say? Okay.
Yes, that's what I mean.
Okay, thank you very much for your contribution all the way from Yobe State. Keep those calls coming in, but we'll just take another breather, and when we come back, we are going to also take your calls, and we'll continue because there's so much to learn today about the Economic and Finance Commission. Okay, stay right where you are. We'll be right back. Glad to know you're still there with us on KAFTAN Television, and it's still the press this beautiful Tuesday morning. I'm Mikky, Attah, and in the studio with me is Mr. Dele Oyewole, the spokesman, the spokesperson of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, as well as the head of media. And I'm going to tell you something. While we went on that short break, we were busy talking in the studio, and you know what? Those figures that I gave to you were actually recorded as of October last year. So while we were out whining and dining and enjoying ourselves at Christmas, the EFCC was not sleeping. So the number has actually increased since then. So while the criminals were not sleeping, the criminals were not resting, the EFCC too were not resting on their oars. So many more have been convicted, just like the one that's going to come up right now on the screen. He, can you imagine, was entrusted with keeping money for people for Hajj, to the 2025 Hajj. And what did he do? Collected all these monies, accumulated them, and took to his heels. So those people who were supposed to go for Hajj from, was it Gombe State, were all stranded. But the EFCC was able to, pick him up, and he was also convicted. He was remanded in prison custody as at, I think, first of this month, was it, or the end of January?
Yeah.
So can you tell us more about what he did and how you got him?
Yeah, the Hajj program.
Yes.
It's a religious program.
Right.
People go for Hajj for a number of reasons, and which, in our opinion, are very good reasons. You've got to serve God according to your faith. But this one said it will process the journey, everything that the pilgrims will need. Yes. He was running a travel and tour company.
Yes. Like an agency.
Like an agency. Okay. And they were patronizing him. And about 144 million naira that belonged to intending Hajj pilgrim. He collected their money. He didn't process their papers. They couldn't go on Hajj. It became a problem. Yes. And we have to go after him. We arrested him. We arraigned him before the court. And we're already applying that the money that he collected from these innocent Nigerians, yes, should be returned to them. Right. So is he going to be granted bail? Yeah, it's an application before the court. So okay, we are hopeful that the court will grant it. Oh, beautiful. Okay. Good morning. Hello.
Good morning.
How are you? You're live.
Yeah. Good morning. I am Attah from Makudi.
From Makudi, Benue State. You're very welcome. Yes, you're live.
Yeah, I sincerely, the public is sincerely happy with his office and fight against corruption of leaders, particularly corruption involved of cybercrime, are truly commendable. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, sir. Yeah, we can hear you. Continue. You're live.
Yeah, okay. By fighting corruption generally, you are not only, sir, protecting individuals and business from financial losses, but also safeguarding the country's reputation and integrity, sir. And with your current workings in the commission, I am positive that a corrupt-free Nigeria is within reach. I want to thank him and also commiserate with the commission over the demands of their officer in Anambra recently. I want to take this opportunity also and thank the media department for projecting operational protocols and the happenings of the commission to the public for everyone to see that this is what is happening in the EFCC. I thank the entire commission for this fight, and I believe that with these current happenings, we are going to at least experience a better Nigeria in terms of corruption. I mean, corrupt-free Nigeria. Just a way to appreciate the commission from the EFCC.
Right. You forgot to even thank KAFTAN Television that's also brought the EFCC to you live. All right, on the lighter note though. Thank you for your contribution. Right, that's kudos and commendations flying in from Nigerians for the activities and also for your department, really, that's keeping people abreast, unlike before where there was, a shroud of secrecy over some of the activities in the EFCC, and especially where it concerns, high-profile political actors, and we just were wondering what's going on. And, the next we hear, the person is out of the country and living as a free man. So keep your calls coming in. The numbers are right there on the screen. We appreciate your take. We've had calls coming from all over the country, and we're taking more. We have enough time for you, so it's going to be an interactive session, and we also have a lot to learn from our guest, who, like I said, is the spokesman and is also a media guru. All right, let's go. We have you, caller. Some technical hitches. Can you hear me now?
Hello, good morning.
Morning. We have you live.
I can hear you clear.
Beautiful. Right. Go ahead.
Let me secure my name. So, I'm calling from Port Harcourt.
We need to have your name. We can't call anonymous.
Make a contribution.
No anonymous contribution, sir. Your name.
Oh, my name is Said.
Oh, Said from Port Harcourt. You're welcome.
So I just want to make a contribution that the headquarters from Abuja, they should set up a committee going around the state, Zona, concerning the assignment they have. They should investigate them properly. Many things are going wrong. So that's my contribution this morning.
Thank you very much. Okay, so that caller from Port Harcourt is saying effectively that you should have a check on the checkers. So he's saying that, look, some things are happening at the zonal level which you may not actually be aware of at the headquarters, and that, are there steps being taken to monitor these officers? So
well, we except he writes a petition to us, or he calls us to confide in us.
Yes.
We may not know. What he said was neither here nor there. You understand? So right. if it's genuinely that some compromises are going on somewhere, all he needs to do is just to call us or to send us a mail. Okay. And he may not even need to know him.
Yes.
And we will do the needful.
Okay. So, you address Nigerians, so let them know, in situations like that, where, there's something not too pleasant going on, right?
Yes, Nigerians
what's the address they should send an email to?
Yeah, very good, very good. I think last year,
right,
the executive chairman of the EFCC, Mr. Olaolukoyede, he directed that public complaint unit should be open in all the 14 locations, okay, where we have our offices, and they were all open. All you need to do is just to go to any EFCC office. If you want to go physically, and you go to the public complaint unit and you make your complaint about whoever,
right, and
it will get to the chairman.
Okay, that's
number one. Number two, we have info Nigeria .org.ng.
Okay,
that's our public outreach email address.
Okay,
info Nigeria at EFCC .org.
Okay,
you understand?
All right.
So anybody that send that mail to info Nigeria at EFCC .org.gov. You get a response immediately.
Right. So what he's saying is, if you want to go over to any of the zonal offices.
You can go physically, and you can choose to send us a mail at info@efcc.org.ng. So we'll get it. Right. I will get back to you.
Right. So you can either go physically if you're not, you don't want to come there physically. All you have to do is send an email to the EFCC.
Info at EFCC.
Info at
efcc.org.gov.ng.
Okay, so that he said will be responded to immediately. And then such petitions will not be handled with levity.
No, when you send us a mail, whatever issue that is raised there, we will definitely get back.
Okay. All right. So we've also had, situations whereby, you send in, or you know what it takes to gather the intelligence, to monitor, do the surveillance, track, look into it, everything pre-arrest. Having done all that, you get all these criminals together and bring them to the court, and then a lot of times these seem to fizzle out. So we'd like to know, what are the challenges you EFCC face, having gone through all the process, pick up all these criminals, get into the court, you find a different story, which in the end kind of reflects on you. It looks like you EFCC, you are just telling us stories.
I think the public needs to know our limit.
Right.
Number one, yes.
Your limit and your limitations. Let's know both.
So we are allowed by our Establishment Act to prevent, to investigate, and to prosecute any act of economic and financial crime. And the moment we take a matter to court, it becomes the responsibility of the judiciary to adjudicate. You cannot be the accuser and the judge in your own case. So, but many people, many Nigerians may be out of their lack of understanding of how this thing goes. They will say that even all the cases that EFCC have taken to court, we are not hearing anything, we are not doing any. No, EFCC cannot be the accuser and the judge. Our job ends at, we arraign the suspect, we go to court, the suspect counsel will come to court, and we meet there. And the court decides what happened. You understand? So it's not that when we make an arrest, we also ensure that this fellow that we have arrested, you must slap 20-year jail term on him. No, we have laws. Yes, we have laws, and we have rules of engagement, even in our courts.
Yes.
So when we take a matter to court, we will go there as a prosecuting agency, but the suspect also has a right of defense.
You're right.
You understand? And whatever now happens to the matter is beyond the EFCC.
Yes, out of your hands.
No, it's beyond us.
Okay, but I wanted to ask you, because doesn't that get very frustrating? Sometimes I think you've had situations where we've had a case adjourned for 10 years. The
delay the trial of cases in our court is also one of the challenges that we are having, but that issue is being tackled.
Okay.
If you are familiar with the Administration of Criminal Justice Act, 2015, there are a lot of things that act has taken care of to ensure that there is speedy resolution of cases.
Okay, not everybody is familiar with them. Now, just give us some little.
For example, all these frivolous injunctions, interlocutory injunctions, stay of proceedings, and all of that. The Act does not allow it again.
Okay.
You understand? Now, then there's a time frame within which a corruption matter should be resolved.
Okay.
You understand?
Yes.
So you find out that our judiciary is one of the best in the world. I am telling you, because of what we see that is coming out of our court. For your information, do you know that the EFCC has about 98% success rate concerning all the cases that we take to court? We hardly lose any case because we do our own work very well.
Right. And
the judiciary is always doing the right thing. When we take somebody to court, they adjudicate and they come out with their judgment, their ruling based on our existing laws.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
So if you have a judiciary that is doing that, that is not compromising anything, you have about 98% success rate in your prosecution. This can be verified now. Our courts, they are public places. You know, anyone can just approach a court, go to the registry and see EFCC cases and see how many cases we have lost, how many cases we have won. Our cases are always well thought of before we go to court. So we whatever might be the challenge that we have over time, all of these challenges will be taken care of, and the will of justice, as we always say, you know, we run its course.
Well, another thing, you know, a lot of people, a lot of Nigerians, you know, the success rate, it seems, people seem to find that the success rate is wonderful when you're going over the Yahoo boys. The success rate is superb when you're going after all these businessmen. One businessman duped another businessman. The success rate is beautiful when you're going after she cheated me and you know, she collected my land and that kind of a thing. Once it comes to these high-profile cases, like all these, what's the name of that one abroad, where they had to even ask for the policeman to be taken abroad, where it comes to big political figures, you know, it seems like those ones have
it is just
X leg.
No, it is not so.
It's not so?
Yeah.
So
you see, if we charge about 50 high-profile cases. I'm just giving an hypothetical. Right. We charge like about 50 cases to court, and they are high-profile cases, and you are able to get like 15 convictions out of those 50 cases. And you charge other cases. Maybe you charge like 1 million, you know, of other cases: banking fraud, procurement fraud, internet fraud, illegal oil bunkering, romance scam, and all of that. You charge them to charge like about 1,000 cases, and you have a conviction record of like about 300. Comparatively and statistically speaking, you will find out that we are not doing badly concerning high-profile cases, because all these cases, it takes time. Partly because of the money involved, also partly because of the profile of individuals involved. They have all the money in the world to challenge the commission, to get the best lawyer, and we also have good lawyers. So it takes time, but we are getting a result. For your information, last year alone, the commission charged 4 former governors, arraigned 4 former governors, you know, before the court. And I can mention them.
Mention them.
You understand?
Mention them.
Now, a former governor of Anambra State, William Obiano, we charge him to court. We arraign him. A former governor of Kwara State, Abdul Fattah, we charge him to court. A former governor of Taraba State, Darius, we charge him to court. Isaku. Yahya Bello, we charge him to court. You understand? And when you look at the volume of work that is involved in the investigation and in the arraignment of these people, it takes a lot of effort. Not only that, 3 other former ministers, Oyewole, former minister of power and development, Salime Mama, who is also a former minister of power, Adisirika, former minister of aviation, we will charge them to court. And they are before the court. So when people look at all of these things, and many more investigations that are ongoing that we don't want to talk about at this point, then I will not agree that we don't do anything about high-profile cases. We don't do. It's because people are not they are just being economical with the truth. Let them go to the court. Let them see the record. Let them see the proceedings, and let them see what the commission is doing. As we are talking now, our lawyers are in court, you know, for one case or the other. So I think rather than just taking the back seat to condemn what the commission is doing, I think we should be fair-minded and appreciate the fact that this is a commission that is doing its best to ensure that the issue of corruption is tackled frantically and frontally, even in this country. Yes.
We want to ask you, in areas of collaboration, do you... Oh, there seems to be a call on the line. Hello?
Hello.
Oh, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Sorry to keep you on hold. Good morning.
Good morning. You are speaking to from Package Alhaji Zakaria.
Alhaji Zakaria from where, sorry?
Yeah, from Package Kwara State.
Kwara State, you're welcome.
That's good.
I just want to appreciate the effort of the KAFTANTV for making this type of program, and at the same time arranging the EFCC call and for him to have accepted the invitation. I just want to appreciate his effort for the man who has looked the previous people who intend to go to Hajj. I went in to follow the case to the data so that the people who intend to go to Hajj should get their money and have their case won. Thank you very much.
Thank you for that call all the way from Kwara State. Okay, like have you applied? Has the EFCC applied for forfeiture of that sum?
Yeah, we have charged the suspect to court. Okay, we are in court against him. So it's
let's have that suspect back up on the screen.
Okay.
Right. So what's going to happen next? Is it, you've asked the court, right? Is there
we have arranged before the court. That is our Gombe Zonal Directorate. You understand? We charge before the court, right? And all the facts are before the court. So we are going to court, and the court is going to rule. Okay. And we have applied that the money, of innocent Nigerians who want to go and serve God, and you still defrauded them. You know, people are so I don't know what to say. Heartless. You understand? Just people who may have saved this money over time, they want to go to Hajj, you know, to go and do a good thing, and you defrauded them, you stole their money, you know. So the court, we have applied to the court, and we are waiting the ruling of the court. But we know that the court is going to ask that the money be refunded, be restored, you know, to the victims.
Okay, please let's have the punch back up on screen. I wanted to find out, are there any challenging situations? Do you have maybe like diplomatic pressure or any of that kind of stuff when you're arraigning lots of these foreign nationals, especially that case, that hall in Lagos where you had people from, I heard from Kazakhstan were involved, Pakistanis involved, Indonesians were there, and then a lot of these Chinese. It's come to a point, these Chinese people are involved in a lot of these economic crimes. So do you have pressure, like from, you know, the embassies or the diplomats, people saying, oh, you know, you've got to let them go? Do you have any pressure
There can be such pressure, because we are not holding them without concrete basis. Right. The facts are there. The result of our investigations, they are there. All right. I don't think there's any country that want to encourage any form of criminality. Okay. So we are not having such issues. Okay. Because we don't just arrest people just for the fun of it. And so we have all the charges ready, and we are already taking them to court in batches. In batches, you know. Last Friday we took some to court. Yesterday we took some to court with that forfeiture that we talk about. $222,729, you know, dollars. That were interim forfeiture that we secured yesterday, and we'll still take many more. Okay. So we have our own way of doing our thing, so much so that it will be hard for anybody, you know, to discredit what the commission is doing. Beautiful. Because we are always very thorough in our investigation. Okay. And the charges are ready; they are before the court. Okay.
Okay. Another question, you know, in the minds of Nigerians is, when you secure like convictions and you also secure forfeitures, these what you gather now becomes property of the government. Yeah. From that point onwards, is it within your purvey? Because we had situations, especially in the last administration, of relooting the looters. So you gather all these things from the looters and reloot them back. Nigerians ended up being, there was a whole lot of that. It's just now taking place.
I am telling you that there is nothing like that.
All right.
And I will tell you why. Why? When recoveries are made, there are modalities of remitting whatever recovery that is made. If it is monetary asset, we have the consolidated revenue account of the government. That money goes there. Okay. You can't take anything from it. It goes there. Okay. We recover to remit. Okay. We don't recover to reloot.
Recover to remit, not recover to relieve.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a takeaway.
Yeah, we made this into the government covers.
Right.
You understand?
So I'm saying, listen, my question is, now you've remitted it to the government coffers. Is it still within your purview, or is now hands off from EFCC?
It's not. Whatever. Our mandate authorizes us to make recovery and remittances. The moment the money is remitted into the government account,
it's hands off for you.
Hands off. We have no underlying. So there is no way
it's in that gray area which you have no hands over.
No. The moment we return the money to the government decides what is to be done with the money.
All right. So what's going to happen? I think what we'll do, I'll just promise you, I'm going to bring in a government official onto this program, especially to handle that type of department. So let's know from that point on, whatever happens, because we are kept in the dark. You remember there was a headline news, and with pictorials, this was before your time actually, and there was a building in Ikoyi, we remember the area, float ceiling to the ground, filled with, foreign currency, which was, taken into custody. End of the story till today. So you see, you should be accountable enough to do, not you. I mean, the person who receives it.
Let me also say this.
Right.
I think we should be very objective in our analysis and appraisal of what government does.
Right.
As far as I'm concerned, and to the best of my knowledge, the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has been very open in the way whatever this recovery. For example, out of the recovery that we made last year, the president directed that 50 billion naira should be released to the Nigerian Education Trust Fund.
Yes. That I'm aware of. Yes, I'm aware.
The government also, the president also directed that another 50 billion should be given to the Nigerian Credit the Credit Corp.
Yes.
You understand?
Right.
For these transactional credits, that is ongoing.
Yes.
This is open enough.
Yeah, that's why I said before your administration.
Yeah, this is
what I said before this
and all of these agencies, they are on ground.
Before there was nothing like that. We wouldn't even know what the president is directing, what money for. All it is just taken it.
But this president is
remitted blackout.
No, it's open. It's transparent.
Right.
And the funds, they are there. People are benefiting from it. It's not. There is nothing that is hidden.
Right.
You understand? So when people say that, when they recover money, we don't even know what they do, whether they are reloading the money, there is nothing like that.
Right.
People should seek to know.
Right.
When in doubt, they should check.
Right. That's why you are here, to let us know. Let us know. You're here to really let us know. I told you you're going to learn a lot from today's interview and from our interviewer, who is, like I said, is a brilliant mind, as well as a no-nonsense him and after integrity. All right, Mr. Dele, I've known you for a while. So I can actually vouch for him. Okay, so what else? Some of the another thing bugging Nigerians' minds is we're made to understand, please correct me, that the EFCC, should I call them, where you take people into custody, is very cushy, very comfortable and lovely. It's so strange, because we're told that, when you take people into EFCC custody, you can still have your chicken and chips, and you can. Is this very true? These are some of the stories we hear around.
Well, the thing is that, the EFCC is an international law enforcement agency.
Okay.
And we operate by international global best practice.
Okay.
When we put suspects in custody, we don't torture them. Our environment is conducive. Yeah, our environment is conducive.
Okay.
And that's why you see many of them, when they take them to court, they will be pleading with the court, please keep me in EFCC custody.
Yes, we noticed.
It is because we try to observe international best practice.
Okay.
As far as keeping suspect in custody,
yes,
they have access to food, they have access to water,
yes,
they have access to good environment. That is the international standard, and the commission is keeping to that.
Okay.
As per chicken or or shawarma or whatever.
Chicken and chips.
I don't know anything about that. But all I know is that our environment is good enough.
Right.
And it's just in line with the fact that we always want to conform with global best practice in what we do. All
right. So the numbers are on the screen. Keep your calls coming in. The numbers are coming up in a minute. Keep your calls coming in. You know, you can interact now. This is your opportunity. And you can ask questions, and he will be right here to take your questions about the operations and the convictions in the EFCC. Okay, well, in the meantime, we'll just take one more question, and then probably we might have to call it a day. But before then, sir, you were going to tell us a little bit about your civic engagement. Some of the civic engagement you have been involved in.
Oh, so we are
enlightenment
campaigns. Yes, we are doing a lot of civic engagement. Our stakeholders, the student community, the trade union, professional groups, and all of that. We are engaging everyone, the media, civil society groups. We are engaging every Nigerian and every stakeholder in the fight against corruption. At the level of a primary school, there we have what we call integrity clubs, where children come together, they form themselves into an anti-corruption club. At the level of institution of Ireland, we have the Zero Tolerance Club, where undergraduates come together to discuss, to engage themselves, to empower themselves intellectually, you know, about anti-corruption issues, and to also build strength among themselves, to expose, you know, to blow whistle wherever and whenever, you know. And we have so many other structures across the country that we are building, you know, to lend a hand concerning this fight against corruption. We are getting very good results, and we still intend to do better. Okay,
I myself have participated in some of these anti-corruption walks and engagements and stuff like that. But what's your mechanism for feedback? Such that, you know, when we participate in some of these things, you have positive feedbacks, like from the schools?
Yes, we get feedback from them.
Okay.
They get back to us.
Okay.
Some of them visit us.
Okay.
They send correspondences. You know, if they are like way, because it's not a one-way traffic. When we engage them, they engage us.
Right.
They tell us the next thing to do. Even the interfaith groups, we have religious groups that we relate with, and they also talk to us.
Okay.
And we do national dialogues where we bring everybody stakeholders, and where we all talk, where we judge. You understand?
To avoid war.
To avoid war.
Okay, so let's have your final word tonight.
Yes, the final word is
time is
EFCC is working in the overall interest of Nigeria.
Okay.
The executive chairman, Mr. Oyewole, is one Nigerian that is passionate, that is patriotic, that is focused, and that is courageous concerning the fight against corruption. He's doing it, and I feel that we should also come together and build synergy together and stand shoulder to shoulder with the EFCC, so that together we can confront the monster of corruption.
Right. It's on that note, I think we'll all join our voices to say, yes, we all want to confront, fight, and rout out that monster called corruption in the nation. So it's on that note, I can only say a very big thank you to you, Mr. Dele, for coming on the program today. And thank you to you, those of you who engaged. Calls from all over the country came in today. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
And I want to say thank you to you, the KAFTAN viewer. My name is Mikky Attah. Don't forget, today being World Cancer Day at 2 o'clock. Listen to the polity. We have a medical expert who's going to talk on that. For now, it's been the EFCC and anti-corruption, and it's been a loaded package. Thank you for being there. Have a blessed, fruitful day.